Well, I just did what I got from Amazon video, if you want to go back and watch that. And actually, one of the things I got from Walmart, I thought it was all from Amazon because that's usually who I buy from, but then was Walmart. We also talked about saying and and like, and here I go saying Let's see what's been going on with me. Well, for Easter, I didn't do anything on Easter Sunday. We got together Saturday with my grandson came down from up. I guess it's up because he's south of us. So up for Easter and went to the service with us and everything. And then we did a Friday night service because we have 5 services, the same one repeated 5 times, 2 on Friday and 3 on Sunday, because I call them Keisters, Christmas Easter people. So it gets really crowded on Easter, and they ask the regular folk that go every Sunday to pick one of the times that's the least popular. So most everybody I know from church went Friday night. We had one at 6 and one at 7:30. We went to the 6 o'clock one, and then now I'm becoming aware of the ums. I didn't think I did that, but now I'm listening to myself. I guess I do say sometimes. Well, I didn't really do anything Saturday morning, and then I thought, my grandson's in town. I'd really like to see him. So I texted my daughter-in-law and I said, how about I come over and make these homemade taquitos. If you don't know what a taquito is, it's like a taco only rolled up. And I make some with veggies, mixed veggies. Usually, this time I use zucchini, squash, yellow squash, and onion. And then I put a little water and a little taco seasoning, and I cook those down and put them in a tortilla with some cheese and roll it up and put it on a cookie sheet. And then to some of those, to the veggie ones, I also added a little bit of chicken, because I take canned chicken and do the same with it, put it in a pan and put some taco seasoning on it and a little bit of water and cook that down. So I made some with veggies only, some with veggie and cheese. And then I made some with corn tortillas. These were all corn tortillas. And they made some with just meat and cheese, chicken and cheese, corn tortillas. And then my grandson likes flour tortillas, so then I made a whole pack, so I figured if there's some left, he could take them home with him, when he goes back to college, because he's got an apartment, so he can, got a kitchen he can heat them up in. So I made him some chicken and cheese ones. And when my other granddaughter is in town, which she's the one that's in Florida and I never see her, I would make some plain cheese ones. And the plain cheese ones, you got to kind of fold the ends under, or the cheese will out both sides. So that's what I did on Sunday. Then after dinner, we played 42. If you don't know what 42 is, you use dominoes, but it's kind of like maybe rummy a little bit, where you put a domino out, and then whoever has the highest domino takes it, and there's a trump and all that. So it's kind of like rummy. It was invented at Texas A&M back in the day when it was this super religious school and they weren't allowed to play cards. So somebody came up with this game using dominoes. So it's like playing cards only with dominoes. And my grandson loves 42, so that was my hook to get invited over, that and me making dinner. What else is going on? I don't know if I told y'all, but Howard's not coming back next year, most likely. He really wants, and I don't blame him, he really wants a family with like a mom and a dad and a kid, a boy maybe his age, and that lives a lot closer to school, because just having me and like as a junior, he's going to be a junior next year. He's going to want to travel, like to visit different schools and stuff to start applying to colleges. And at my age and vision problems and that, I don't drive long distances, so he's not going to be able to do that if he stays with me. So I totally get why he wants to do that. Plus, it's 30 minutes each way, so he loses an hour out of his day, and I lose 2 hours out of my day just going back and forth to school. Because I have half an hour there, and then I come home, so that's another half an hour. So that's an hour for me, and then half an hour to go get him, and half an hour back home. So I totally get why he wants it, but I'm not sure they're going to find that. If they don't find it, he may end up back with me again. It made me laugh kind of, because part of his reason for wanting another host family is because I made him miss 2 days. It made him miss school 2 times. That's how he put it. And I'm like, you didn't miss any school. And he's like, well, remember, I missed first period twice. One time I was sick and I sent him in an Uber and he missed first period because he was there a little bit late. And that one time I drove to school and forgot him. He was in the back seat. I'm messing around. Didn't see him get out of the car and go back inside for something. So then I just drive off and I get all the way to school because he sits behind me, which I think is really rude. And I'm going to have to tell him that the next family, you may not want to do that because it's like treating people like a servant or a taxi driver when you sit in the back seat and they're in the front seat. I just let it go because it was probably a cultural thing, but he really needs to know that in America we would consider that rude. So anyway, since he was behind me and it was morning, usually he's really quiet in the morning, he's half asleep or catching up on homework or whatever. So I didn't even notice he wasn't there till I got there, so that added a whole nother hour on to his getting to school on time because I had to come back and then go back again. So that was why he was upset. Like, you missed 2 hours of school in a whole year. It's not a big deal. What else am I doing? I need to do some yard work, but I hate yard work. So I bought a new tool that's in my other video. You can see it. I'm going to try and see if it does any good. I also have coming, I got a notice from Temu. I'm going to try the fake flower route. And I've got a bunch of pots out front that the plants all died over the winter. And instead of spending a bunch of money buying petunias or whatever, I bought a bunch of fake flowers from Temu. So I'm going to dig up the weeds that are growing. I've got 2 oak trees growing in my pots, and they're about this big now because the acorns from my oak trees fall in the pots, and I just let them grow to see how big they'd get. They're pretty big now, so I have to pull them babies out because they definitely don't look like a decorative plant. It looks like an oak tree. I also bought a macrame holder because I had 2 fake Boston ferns that looked really real hanging up, and they both fell down because the macrame things kind of rotted through from the sunlight. One of them I was able to kind of weave it back together and hang it back up, but the other one, it was just too far gone, so I bought a macrame holder. I could have done it myself. I have done it in the past. Back in the 60s, we made macrame plant hangers and macrame wall hangings. And do you remember making bread bowls? We did. You took a bread dough without yeast, just flour and water and salt, I think it was. And you rolled it out and you cut strips and then you wove them together in the shape of a bowl and baked it, and you made a bread bowl, and you'd use it to put your bread in or napkins in or whatever, and you lacquered it, I think, so it wouldn't get like moldy or anything. Some of the weird things we did back in the 60s, the 60s and early 70s. Well, that is all. I just wanted to last thing I'll tell you is, I'm saying again. Now that I'm aware of it, I do say a lot. I'm going down in the end of May to my 3rd granddaughter's. She's graduating from college in Louisiana, which is about 6 hours from here. So my other son and daughter-in-law are going to meet the other half of the family down in Louisiana for her graduation. So I'll see her and her sister, I'm sure, and my other son and daughter-in-law. And we're going to drive down early Friday and come back late Saturday. So it's going to be a quick trip. 12 hours in the car, 6 each way. Ugh, at least I'm not driving. And Howard, school gets out on the Thursday. We're leaving on Friday. He gets out on Thursday. And I was like, well, what am I going to do with him? And he was able to get a flight out that Thursday night. So he's going to leave Thursday to go home to China, and then I'll leave Friday morning to go down to my granddaughter's graduation. She's graduating from Louisiana Tech University with a degree in nursing, a BA or BS. I guess it would be a BS in nursing. And I'm not sure, she's got an aunt who's been a traveling nurse for years. And she may try that for a while because she's young and unattached, and she may do that just for fun to see other parts of the country. So with a traveling nurse, what happens is, like, say somebody's on maternity leave and they need somebody to fill in for a few weeks, she would go and do that kind of thing. And you get to see all parts of the country and do all different aspects of nursing. So she may do that. She talked about doing NICU with the babies. I'm not sure what she's going to do. I guess it depends on what job she can get straight out of nursing school. Alrighty, well, I better get off of here. I've been yammering at you for over 10 minutes. But I just thought I'd give you a little catch up on what's going on. Ketchup and mustard. Give you a little catch up on what's going on. The mustard reminds me, since I didn't really have Easter dinner, I didn't make any deviled eggs. So I'm thinking about making deviled eggs just because usually you may have them with a big meal, or a party or something. But no reason I can't just make some deviled eggs just to have deviled eggs. So there's all these different ways. Do you put pickles relish in yours? Sometimes I'll put bacon on top, but mostly I'm a straight egg girl. Just mayonnaise, mustard, salt, pepper, and paprika on top. Just nice and simple. All right, love you all. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a wonderful Easter.